And this is what we strive towards on this channel. I may not know a lot about life, but I definitely know how to get good grades. These tips are the ones that I used for myself to get almost a 4.0 and take my grades from a 3.4 to a 3.98. Okay, you guys, like, this is the most important thing. What you need to know is, first of all, to read the syllabus, and second of all, to read the rubric. So that is really basic, but the whole video is not like that. So if you've heard this before and if you don't like it, the other tips aren't basic, so please don't click out. Just like skip to the other tips. I know in some cases the rubrics can be vague, but it is always in your best interest to give the rubric a shot, because the chances are sometimes the rubric is really specific, as like saying for a B level the student gives a generic example from the book, and for an A level the student gives their own creative example. Yes, most of the time they can be vague, but if that case happens, then you have an immediate cheat code to get an A. Why read the syllabus? I know that when your teachers give out syllabus, like, no one cares about that thing, no one reads it. Going into a subject without reading the syllabus is like playing a game without knowing the rules of the game. The syllabus kind of outlines what you're supposed to study for in that subject to win. The second tip is also really important. Whatever subject you're studying, especially if you have an exam on that subject, maybe a month or two before the exam, or it's even better if you can do it throughout the whole year, what you need to do is to completely immerse yourself in whatever you're studying. I really hate how exaggerated my hand gestures are. This video is going to be a pain to edit. So to explain this way better, I'm gonna give you guys this example. When I was studying for my AP psychology test, which I, by the way, got a 5 on, what I did was every single morning when I would wake up and get ready for school, I would watch a crash course episode. Then on my way to school, or maybe if we're studying different disorders, I would watch people's YouTube videos. Another great thing can be to watch movies. Yes, I'm giving you guys an excuse to watch movies, but in the name of education, duh. It will get you into the understanding of whichever subject you're studying outside the textbook and into the real world. Now my third tip is going to be all about note-taking and what I do in order to make sure that my note-taking optimizes me to retain information for longer. If you are really low on time, here is the easiest thing that will not take away any extra of your time. Instead of going to class and taking notes on the chapter that was covered in the lecture after the lecture, you take notes before. Now here's why this works. When you are taking the notes beforehand, you are already learning the thing, and then when you go to the lecture, that information is then repeated to you and you can retain it better. Additional tip that I want to tell you guys on this is, like, if you read your notes beforehand and you can be more focused on the lecture, you can look at what they focus on during the lecture, and that will highlight what they will want from you during the test, because they are a person, and what they personally dedicate more time to during their lectures usually is most likely what they want you to see on the test. I know for every single class that I've done this for, it helped me a lot, and it made me get better grades than the people who would take notes after we had the class. Tip that I want to talk about is all about knowing your teacher. I do not mean like what their favorite color is, when they got married, and all that kind of stuff. What you have to know about your teacher is what he focuses on when he grades, and where does he get his questions for the test. First of all, what he focuses on when he grades is what you need to hit. Some teachers recycle their old test questions. In that case, you can go to one of your upperclassmen or someone who has already had that class, and you can like ask them what they would usually put on the test. Some teachers tend to get their tests off of the internet. I've had that one too. I would like find all the tests beforehand. And some teachers tend to get their test questions from the book revision section. And with that said, if you want to hear more about back to school tips, how to make the best presentation, the weird study techniques part of this series, or just check out the whole playlist on back to school series. Please don't click out. Please don't click out. Just like, excuse me? Eat fireworks.
so much.